Hi students, good morning. What did we study in our first chapter? In our first chapter, we studied that living organism's body is made up of cells. Cells are the structural and functional unit of an organism. Is it? Cells are the structural and functional unit of an organism. And also we studied that in unicellular organism's body, there will be only a single cell. But the single cell performs all functions in such organisms. Is it? Whereas in multicellular organism's body, there may be millions of cells. For different functions, these cells are grouped together and they perform different functions. Or we can say there is division of labor. Division of labor. Labor will be divided or work will be divided. And for each and every work, for each and every function, there will be group of cells. The particular group of cells which may be similar in structure and function. Such particular group of cells are called tissue. Tissue. So tissue means a group of cells. A group of cells which may be similar in structure and function. One group of cells which do the same function will be called as a tissue. A tissue. So our second chapter is based on tissue. So our second chapter is tissue. The tissues of plants and animals. So in second chapter we have to study the tissues of plants and animals. So tissue is a group of cells which perform same function and they will have same structure also. See, they will have same structure and same function. So tissue, group of cells. Then can we find tissue in plant body and animal body? Of course, there are tissues both in plant body and animal body. But these tissues are different in plant body and animal body because there are lots of differences between plants and animals. There are many differences between plants and identified. Can you say some differences between plants and animals? Yes, plants are stationary. Stationary means they are fixed at one place. They cannot move from place to place. Because they are fixed at one place or they cannot move from one place to another place, they need more support or they need more mechanical strength. More mechanical strength they need. So that for this purpose, they in their body there will be many supportive tissue or there will be many supportive cells. Okay, and these supportive cells may be dead cells. In plant body, many of the cells will be dead cells. They are dead cells because dead cells provide more mechanical strength. Dead cells provide more mechanical strength. That is why in plant body there will be many dead cells. Yes? So plants are stationary or they are fixed. So they need more mechanical strength. For this purpose, in plant's body, there will be many dead cells because dead cells provide more mechanical strength to plant body. Yes, whereas animals are not fixed at one place always, is it? They move from place to place. Why do animals move from place to place? They move from place to place in search of food. They are moving from place to place in search of shelter, in search of their mates. So animals move from one place to another place for different purpose. So in their body, most of the cells are living cells because they need more energy. Can you identify one more difference between plants and animals? Yes, their growth. The growth. In plants case, the growth is different from animals growth, because in animals growth, the growth is uniform. In animal's body, the growth is uniform. Whereas plant's body, the growth is not uniform. The growth is located or concentrated at some particular points in plant body. And these points may be the tip of the stem, the tip of the root. Like there are some particular points, there will be more growth. It means more growing cells are located at some particular points. These growing cells have one name also, that is meristematic cells. Meristematic cells, growing cells are also called meristematic cells or meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue. So in plant body, there will be meristematic tissue which are located only at some particular points. And in such points, these cells are growing very fast, and also always they are growing, always they grow throughout their life. There is no stoppage of this meristematic tissue. Their growth will not be stopping. Their growth will be continuing throughout their life. So, meristematic tissue are present in some particular points, and in such points, this tissue will be dividing, or this tissue will be growing throughout their life. Okay. But in the other places, there will not be meristematic tissue. Some other type of tissue will be present. This tissue will be dead tissue, dead cells, and they are permanent cells. They will not grow or they will not divide. Permanent, they are permanent tissue. Okay, only meristematic tissue will be growing in plant body. The permanent tissue will not be growing. And these meristematic tissue are present only in some particular places. So, in some particular points, there will be continuous growth. Yes. Whereas in animals case, the growth will be uniform. The growth will be uniform. Some other type of tissue or some other type of cells are present in animal's body. So if we compare plants growth and animal growth, one is uniform growth and the other one is non-uniform growth. Okay. So we have to identify the main differences between plant body and animal body. Of course, there may be some other differences also. Yes. Then now, we have to study the different types of tissue which are present both in plant body and animal body. First, we have to go through the tissue of plants. In plants, there are mainly how many types of tissue? Two types of tissue. Which are they? Meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. And these meristematic tissue are growing tissue and which are located at some particular points. So, we will study or we will see the location of meristematic tissue in plant body. In plant body, growth occurs only in certain specific regions. This is because the dividing tissue, that is the meristematic tissue, is located only at these points. Depending on the region where they are present, meristematic tissues are classified into three types. Among these, first one is apical meristematic tissue, which are present at the growing tips of stems and roots and increases the length of the stem and the roots. Second type, lateral meristematic tissue, which increases the girth of the stem or root. The third type, intercalary meristematic tissue, present at the base of the leaves or internodes on twigs. Internode is on either side of the node. Meristematic tissue are very active. They have dense cytoplasm, thin cellulose wall, and prominent nuclei. Now, let us see the growth of onion roots. But when we cut the tip of the roots, they stop growing because meristematic tissue are removed.
Study of the root tip of the onion. In this module, you will learn about tissues present in the root tip. Do you know how plants grow? Well, it is the continuous and active division of cells at the apex of the plant that results in its growth. Let us conduct an activity to study cells and tissues that help a plant to grow by observing the root tip of the onion. To study the growth in the root tip of the onion, you need 2 same-sized onion bulbs, 2 glass tumblers filled with water, and a pair of scissors. Let us now begin the activity. Take 2 tumblers filled with water and mark these tumblers as A and B. Now take 2 onion bulbs of the same size and place one in each tumbler such that only the lower surface of the bulb is in contact with the water. After that, leave both the tumblers undisturbed for 3 to 4 days. Observe the onion bulbs on each day to note the growth of roots. In case of tumbler B, since the roots have not been cut, the root tip continues to grow longer. This root tip is a region of growth. The root tip consists of a tissue called meristematic tissue, whose cells keep dividing and hence results in the growth of roots. While in the case of tumbler A, the root tip was cut, which resulted in the absence of the region of growth. Since meristematic tissue was absent, no cell division took place and hence the growth of roots stopped. From the above activity, it can be concluded that root tip of the onion has specific type of tissue called meristematic tissue, which causes the growth of a plant. In this module you have learnt root tip of the onion has a specific type of tissue called meristematic tissue, which causes the growth of a plant. Meristematic tissue is a group of cells that divides and grows continuously and hence causes a plant to grow.